Hi, everyone, and welcome to another class with me, Stephanie, here at Linguistiko. This class is called How Are You? And we are going to be talking about describing our feelings and emotions in English, what words we use when we are writing, maybe writing something creatively versus when we are speaking, because what happens is writing is generally more formal than speaking. So, for example, the word shy is a word that we tend to use when we speak to one another. And the word timid, which is the same thing, it's a synonym for shy. This word is one that we don't tend to use so much when we speak. We don't generally say he is timid. We just say shy normally, okay? So it's more simple. So or more complicated, depending how you look at it. Hi, Anatoly, do you hear me?
Yes, hello Stephanie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fine because it is a subject of our class today.
Exactly, exactly. So it's a little bit funny, right? So when we ask the how are you question, what do people normally say?
I am fine, thank you.
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Now, what do they say if they're having a really, really bad day?
Mm, I think they are saying I am good, thank you. I am okay. I am okay.
Yeah. Well, you are right. You know why? Because even if somebody is having a good day, a bad day, we still say I'm good or I'm okay. And it just depends who we are talking to. If we're talking to a coworker, maybe we don't want them to know we are having a bad day, so we just say, "Yeah, I'm good." So in a way, maybe it's like a lie. Do you think it's a lie if we say, "Yeah, I'm good," if we're having a bad day?
Hmm. Um, After I started to study English, I understood that usually this question just welcoming, just hi. It is not a serious question. Uh,
Exactly. Exactly. So nobody really, when we say, "How are you?" we don't actually really want to know how that person is unless that person is like our best friend and we say, "Hey, tell me, how are you?" And we say it very seriously so that they tell us what's going on. But no, normally it's just a very simple question just to welcome somebody. And maybe if you're having a bad day, you can smile and say, "It's just one of those days." Have you
mhm.
heard that before?
No, no.
Okay, I'm going to write it here in the chat, okay? It's just one of those days. Because this is something that we say commonly. This is very common. So if I'm having a bad day and we meet and you say, "Stephanie, how are you?" I could look at you and say, "It's just one of those days." And
Mhm,
you know that that means that I'm not fine, I'm not good, but I'm okay at the same time.
mhm,
Good. Okay, so yes, this is what we're going to talk about. And we're actually going to talk about words that are used in writing versus in speaking, because generally writing is more specific and it is more, how do I say this? I can't remember the word right now, but let me give you an example.
mhm,
Um, if someone is shy, we could say, "Oh, he is shy." But timid is a synonym for shy. But we wouldn't really say he is timid because timid is just not a word that we speak very often. We just say shy. He's shy. Maybe that's me. Maybe that's just where I am from. Maybe in England they use timid all of the time. Maybe in Australia they do. I don't know. But where I'm from, we don't really say timid, but we read it. So when we're reading a book, it could say he was a very timid young man. Okay, because then the word becomes poetic in a way and creative, and shy becomes almost dull because we overuse it when we speak. Does that make
mhm.
sense?
Yes, yes, I understand.
Good. Okay, so let me ask you a couple questions just as we get started here. Um, one second, because I have a list of questions and I want to pick a good one for starting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know what we're going to talk about first? We're going to talk about some idioms and things like that. So my first question is, when somebody says, that bugs me, what are they saying? What emotion are they describing? When they say it really bugs me when,
I don't know this word. Bugs
okay,
me?
yeah. I'm going to write some of them in the chat, okay? It really bugs me when. So bug means to annoy. It really annoys me
Uh,
when, yes, when people yell in my ear. So instead of saying it really annoys me, I can say it really bugs me when people yell in my ear. Or if you are doing something that I think is annoying, I could say, can you please stop? That's really bugging me right now.
mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, good. Okay, so that's the first one, and I have a little list. Okay, um, what about when somebody says, I had to keep it in, and they are talking about their emotions? What does that mean when they say, I had to keep it in?
I remember. I will remember what you said.
I had to keep it in. Actually, keeping something in means not showing a certain emotion. So
Ah,
if you feel jealous, like really jealous, you could say, yeah, I was very jealous, but I had to keep it in. Basically, that means I couldn't show it. Or I was really angry, but I had to keep it in. I couldn't show my anger.
mm-hmm.
A lot of times, when, for example, if you're watching a sad movie and it makes you want to cry, well, maybe you don't want to cry because maybe you're watching the movie with your family or your friends, so you have to keep it in.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Does that make sense? So keep it in is holding in emotion. Okay, and it can be any emotion.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
So
understand.
now we did two, and I explained what they are. Let's go back to it really bugs me. I want to hear you use that in a sentence.
Mm-hmm. Uh, Talking about politics really bugging me.
Really bugs me.
Bugs me. Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay, yeah. It kind of bugs me too. Well, I don't know too much about politics, but when people get really um, emotional about politics, that does kind of bug me as well. Okay, so now let's do a sentence with holding it in, I mean, keeping it in.
Mm-hmm. Uh, when we are talking about controversial topic, I am trying to keep my emotion in my mind. I think it is wrong sentence.
No, I mean
Keep it in.
it's
Mm.
actually correct. It's actually correct. It's correct. But the
Uh-huh.
keeping it in here is the kind where you don't use the word emotion. It's like I. So let's use this sentence. Um, when we talk about controversial topics and it upsets me, I don't want other people to know, so I have to keep it in.
When we are talking about controversial topic, I'd prefer to keep it in.
hmm Okay, that was better. Um, let's go on to the next one. Feel blue. Have you heard this one before? When
Yes,
somebody is
yes,
feeling blue? Okay,
yes.
good. And what does this mean?
Worried. To be worried. Being
Okay.
worried.
This one, this one is actually more like being sad. Okay?
Maybe yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. However, I want to let you know how we use it and don't use it when we speak. When we're speaking, we don't usually say, I'm feeling blue. However, if I see that you look sad, I could go over and say, hey, why so blue?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? That's like, hey, why are you sad? Is everything okay?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, why so blue?
Mm-hmm.
That's like why, or actually it's like asking, are you sad? That's what we are asking. Are you sad?
Mm-hmm.
Why so blue? And it generally has to do with the expression that we see on the person's face.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. Um, what if I told you um, that I couldn't handle something? What does that mean? I just can't handle it.
I think it means I could I can't cope with the situation.
Yeah, yeah, I can't stand it. I can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe somebody's really frustrated, they're working on their homework, and then like their brother comes home from school and turns on the TV really loud and refuses to turn it off. And so the person goes, oh my goodness, I can't handle it. Fine, I'll go upstairs and do my homework or something like that. Kind of a silly example. Um, but yes, this is generally something that reflects a lot of emotion when you can't handle something.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Let's do a few more. What does it mean when people say, and then I was freaking out? What does that mean?
Freaking out. Maybe uh, to be afraid, but afraid like chicken out, I think, similar
Hmm.
expression. Maybe, but
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Freaking out. This one is really common. A lot of people say this. Um, and this can be something scary. Like, I went on my first roller coaster and I was freaking out the whole time. Okay? So it could reflect fear, freaking out. However, it could also reflect anxiety. Like I could tell you, okay, so Anatoly, I was in class the other day and the professor said, "So I hope you guys are ready for your test today." And then I started freaking out because I didn't even know we had a test.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? So
Yes,
this
yes.
could be fear or anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a question so far?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, so now let's go back to being blue and go ahead and make a sentence with this.
Mm-hmm. Uh, the weather is not good, but no, don't be blue.
Yeah, that's good. The weather's not good, but don't be blue. Okay, what about freaking out?
Uh-huh. Uh, uh, we had a policeman stopped us yesterday. Uh, I freaked it out,
Oh,
or
okay.
maybe freaking out.
Okay, okay. You could say, and so I freaked out, or you could
I
say,
think.
I was freaking out.
Uh-huh. Yes.
But we never separate freaking and out, okay? Or freak and out. They have to go together.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. A couple more. Okay, so what do I mean when I say I'm crazy about something?
I really like something.
Good. Okay, so tell me a couple things that you are crazy about.
I'm crazy about computer games.
Oh, really? That's interesting. What's the one that you are most crazy about? What is it called?
To be honest, I had maybe two computer games which I really liked. I liked Far Cry and the first one, and
Uh-huh.
Mafia, also the first one.
Okay, so
Mafia, it is partly movie, partly game. It was designed in style of old Chicago,
ah,
the times of gangsters time.
wow. Okay,
And
I'm not sure if I understood though. Um, were you crazy about those games, or are you crazy about them and you play them regularly?
uh, I was crazy, and I played these two games from beginning to the end of every of all stages,
Oh, every level. We call them levels.
levels.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, so you said I was crazy and I played every level of them. You have to say I was crazy about them because if not, it means you're crazy like this.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
About. Yes, and I was crazy about Second Life virtual world. Now my interest became lower.
Uh-huh.
I have
Less.
less. But
Mm-hmm.
before that, if you know this world, it is not really a game. We can call it as a game, but it is. Something virtual environment.
Oh.
I practiced the English, and I studied there in online school, and it is my avatar here. You can see in my window
Mm-hmm.
from this game.
Wow, that's interesting. I don't play computer games. Sometimes maybe I'll download a game on my cell phone or my iPad, but I try not to play them because I feel like life is so short, you know. I want to make sure I'm living each moment, and when I play those games, I feel like they just eat up the time, and I like being productive. So I try not to because then maybe I'll spend 1 or 2 hours playing the game. So as long as I don't get started, I'm good.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, let's go on. Okay, what happens when somebody says I'm not sure about? So if I tell you, hey Anatoly, I was thinking that I want to get a degree, but I'm not sure about signing up for school. What do you think? So what does that mean? I'm not sure about.
Mm, you haven't decided yet.
Yeah, good. So I am being indecisive. I'm unsure. I'm hesitant. Um, yeah, good. Okay, so now, good job on those, by the way. That was kind of like our warm-up. Now I'm going to pass you a link to a really interesting word chart, and I want you to open it, and we will talk about it. But here it is. Here's the link.
Hmm.
Okay. So I want you to take take a minute to look over the chart and then describe it to me. Describe what you see and how it is divided.
Hmm. Hmm. On the column, we have different feelings from the good feeling, maybe not, just different feelings. And
Good.
on the rows, we can see measure how
Good.
strong
Measurements.
measurements.
Good. Okay, so we have some different feelings, and these are basic feelings. So when students are first learning English, They generally learn the words happy, sad, angry, afraid, and maybe they learn ashamed, okay? And then we have intensity of feelings because maybe you're a little bit happy or just happy, or maybe you are very happy. And so that you don't have to say very happy or a little bit happy, we have different words that will help you express the intensity of your happiness or your sadness. We have to be careful with these words, though, because sometimes they are not really used in spoken language. And if you do use them in spoken language, people will understand you, but maybe it'll just be a little bit awkward. Because if you look in, let me see, angry, high intensity, we have the word seething. Okay, now this word is very descriptive, but it's probably not a word that most people would use in their vocabulary. However, it's kind of like a personal decision because the words that we choose to use kind of makes us who we are in a way. So if you like being very descriptive with your spoken language, then feel free. But if in your own language you speak with just more normal or basic words, I guess you could say, then maybe it would be good for you to stick to the more common words like furious. He was furious or outraged. Okay, so now we're going to do a little exercise. Please tell me a low intensity word for happy.
I'm happy to welcome Caesar, who is joined to our session.
Oh,
Hi, how are you
okay.
doing?
Hello.
Hi, sorry, Caesar, I didn't see you because I was looking at a document. Let me share the link with you. How are you doing today, Caesar?
Fine.
Yeah? Hey, I want to ask you a question because your picture has me so curious. Do you like cats?
Not necessarily, but I like that picture particularly.
Oh, and he has that cat has a very expressive face. I don't know if he is afraid or what. Is this a picture of your cat?
Not really. Actually, there are some videos on YouTube, and I think this is a grumpy cat.
Oh, the grumpy cat. That's funny. Well, Mr. Grumpy Cat has appropriately showed up to our class about feelings and emotions. So maybe we will help him learn how to be happy.
Absolutely.
Just yes. Okay, so please check out the link. Anatoly and I are doing an exercise on this link. So basically, you will see a chart, and at the top, in the columns, it has words of emotions: happy, sad, angry, afraid, and ashamed. And then in the rows, we have degree of emotion or intensity, so high, medium, and low. So for example, a low intensity word for happy is glad. Okay, glad. So we're just going to locate some words right now. So Caesar, please tell us a high intensity word for afraid.
Terrified.
Terrified. Good. Anatoly, a medium intensity word for ashamed. I don't know.
Guilty. Yes.
Oh.
I forgot to push button. Guilty.
Oh, I see we're playing with more cat pictures.
It is my cat
Oh,
because
he's
we
so
started to talk
cute.
about cats.
Yeah, wow. Look at that picture. That's a good picture. It's almost, I don't know, it's a good picture. Okay, guys. Um, okay, so now we see how this chart works. I'm going to give you guys a minute to read over it. And if there is any word that you are not sure about, you're not sure what it means, then we can talk about it, okay? So take a minute, look it over, see if you already know all of these words.
I don't know, maybe 10% from this list.
Okay, good. Yeah, there are some new ones. Since you guys have the link, you can look up the words later, or we can talk about some of them right now before we continue. So maybe let's talk about one or two. So give me an example of a word that you don't know, Anatoly.
Yes, from the left on the top, the first elated.
Elated? Okay, this one is like excited, but it's even more than excited. So let me give you an example. If I use it in example, I think you will understand it. Okay, so I live in Argentina, you know this, right? And my family lives in California. And I miss them, and you know, I got used to not being with them, but it's still hard. So if all of a sudden somebody knocks on my front door and I open it and it's my sister, I would be elated. I would be so happy, so excited. It would probably be like the best gift in the world if she surprised me and came to visit me. And I mean, I have many sisters, but I'm talking about one in particular because we are like best friends. So if she came and knocked on my door, I would be like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing in Argentina? This is crazy!" And I would be elated. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. It's strange that excited. I heard this word many times, but elated, not so.
Yeah. Well, for example, in this situation with my sister, if I told you, if I just said, I would be so excited, I would, but excited doesn't even express the happiness that I would feel because I would be elated, which is even more than excited.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So, Caesar, do you have any questions?
Yes, how about scare stiff?
Okay. I want to read it. Afraid. Okay, scared, stiff. Okay. Caesar, have you ever been really afraid? Like, I mean, really afraid.
Well, I remember once that a cockroach landed on my head, and that was really scary. Yeah.
That makes me laugh because I get scared, I get freaked out by cockroaches all the time. And Anatoly, there we have that word freaked out. I mean, the words freaked out. I get freaked
Mm-hmm.
out by cockroaches all the time. Okay, and you're right, that is scary. But I mean something more, I don't know, life-threatening or eerie. Like all of a sudden you see a person in your house, and you're like, whoa, what's going on? Have you ever experienced that level of fear?
Like seeing a ghost or something like that.
Yeah, sure. If
Okay, a
it was
ghost then.
scary.
Well, seeing a ghost is scary.
Well,
Scary.
unless somebody like has no problem with it. I mean, there's this TV show about the girl who sees ghosts and she's just like, "Oh, hello."
uh, well, probably
So
they
we're
haven't.
talking like about a scary ghost then. Okay, perfect. So here's the scenario. I'm in my house. I'm washing dishes, and I'm making this up, okay? This, thank God, hasn't happened to me. I'm in my house, I'm washing dishes, and all of a sudden I hear footsteps in the back. And I think, oh, my husband came home. So I dry my hands and I turn around because I'm going to say, oh, hi, welcome home. And all of a sudden I see a man standing there looking at me like with these big eyes, and he's white and pale. And then my heart stops and I am scared stiff. That means I'm stiff, like my body can't move. When something is stiff, it doesn't move. Like you can try and move it and press it, but it doesn't move, okay? This is not stiff, this is stiff. So if I'm scared stiff, I'm like, ugh, and I can't move. Does
Like
that make sense?
petrified.
Petrified, exactly. That is a great synonym for scared stiff. Good.
Okay.
Okay, so any other words we should go over before we move on? Take advantage of this moment if you guys want to learn some new words.
Ecstatic.
Ecstatic. Okay, it's like that. Woo! So elated, let's talk about the difference between elated and ecstatic, okay? Elated comes from deep joy, like deep joy, something that you've been wanting in your heart, and you like get it and you're just elated, okay? But ecstatic is like more sudden, like woo! Like I just want a trip to Hawaii. I'm ecstatic. Woo! Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so ecstatic is more sudden and more fleeting, if you will. Fleeting means temporary. Um, and elated is, well, we talked about elated. Good. Okay, so any other questions about these words, you guys?
I mean, is that list, I mean, from the highest degree until the lowest degree? I mean, so elated is the top, I mean, is the top way to say, like, really, really, really happy. And mellow
Yeah,
would be the lowest. Right?
yes, but remember we also have to consider motives and reasons for being happy, because if you're happy because of something that has to do with a deep joy and you're at the highest level of that happiness, it's different from being at the highest level of happiness for excitement. Does that make sense? Just like ecstatic is probably the highest level of excitement, um, and elated is probably the highest level of like joy. So they have like different what's the word? Um, not results, causes. And that's why I want to talk about these words, just because sometimes it's appropriate to use one and inappropriate to use the other. Does that make sense? So
Yes.
we have to understand the word in the context and in a situation, so that way you can apply it correctly.
hmm Well,
And,
so
I,
there are
and
many
the only way I
situations.
think, wait, what?
There are dozens of situations because there are dozens and dozens of words here.
I know, but I'm assuming that you guys know some of these words. So I just wanted to take some time to go over the ones that maybe are most confusing for you.
Okay.
And also, I'm including this chart just because I thought it was really awesome. And you guys can keep it and save it if you have, like, I don't know, a folder of English things that you use to help you. These are really, really great, colorful words for feelings and emotions.
Yes, I agree.
Good. Okay, so any others before we move on?
Can we use word furious? Usually I met this word when we talked about woman. Can we use this word for men?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Um, However, I'm trying to think about this word. I'm trying to think, how often do I use this word when I'm talking about myself or when I'm talking to other people? I think I use this more when I'm telling a story. Like if I'm talking about somebody who like started throwing knives or something, I would say, yeah, he was furious. Um, but I don't think I usually say I'm furious. Um, yeah.
Because we have a similar word in my native language when person is very angry, furia. I think it
Ah.
produced from this word, and usually this word related to the relationships. For example, if relationships between wife and husband not good, husband could say other his friends, oh, my wife is just furious.
Ah.
Like this.
Well, in English, it's different because we can use this word outside of like the marital context. You could be furious with your spouse, but you could also be furious with your teacher or your neighbor.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's
Okay, so I'm going to stop this exercise just because I have some other things that I want us to do, and they're pretty interesting as well. So the next exercise we're going to do, I'm going to share my screen, and it's a presentation called How Might You Feel? Or how might you feel? Okay, so basically it's 10 slides, and they are situations. So we're going to talk about how we would feel in situations, okay? So Caesar, I'm going to start with you. If you had to go to the bank but arrived just as it was closing, how might you feel?
Do I have to use one word from the list you just gave us?
No, you don't have to use words from the list. You can if you find it useful, but it's not mandatory.
Okay. I would feel probably irritated.
Irritated. Good word. Yes. Irritated. Okay. What about you, Anatoly? How might you feel?
I would feel disappointed. I would feel disappointed, upset maybe, or more.
Good. Good. And it's interesting because these questions are so, I guess, I don't know how to say it. Like, basically, there could be so many different answers. Like, I know people who would be furious if this happened to them. Like, furious. And to me, I might just be upset or disappointed, but I wouldn't be furious. But, you know, everybody has a different personality, and some people respond better to certain things than others. So some people, yes, might feel outraged, and they might say it's because of all the traffic. That's why I arrived late, and they might be really angry. Or some people feel silly and just say, well, that was stupid. I should have left earlier, so I would have made it on time. So yes.
And
good. Okay, we're going to go on. I mean, sorry, go ahead.
Can we say I feel I could feel sorry for myself because I forgot time to look to my watch?
Yeah, you could say I feel sorry for myself, but feeling sorry for somebody it's a little bit, how do I say this? It's different. I'll give you an example. If I see a child who has no shoes and who looks really hungry and probably doesn't have any parents, I would feel sorry for that child. You know, I would feel bad for that child. But sometimes people use this phrase differently. They say, 'cause this one is a hard one to explain.
Excuse, just excuse me. I'm sorry because I was late. I'm sorry. I apologize. It is the first one, and the second one, I'm sorry because I have how to say a feeling of in common with that person who doesn't have money for buying meat.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Were you giving me some examples of feeling sorry for?
Yes, I figured out that sorry in English could be used in two situations, typical situations. The first one, when we are going to apologize for something, and the second, 1 second, maybe I need look to my dictionary.
Okay,
Compassion.
Oh yes, that's correct.
Sympathy,
That's correct.
compassion.
That is correct. And sometimes people can actually use it spitefully. I don't know if you guys have ever maybe seen on a TV show where somebody says, "Well, I feel sorry for you," and they say it like that with that attitude. Caesar, have you ever heard that? Heard somebody say it like that?
Of course, many times. So we can see the level of arrogance somebody has.
Exactly, exactly. That's a really great way to describe it, the level of arrogance. Wow, cool. Okay, guys, let's go on to the next one because we have to get through this, and then I have another activity for us as well. So the next one is, if you were camping in the wilderness and couldn't find the way back to your campsite, how might you feel? Caesar?
Yeah. Um, is it dark or is it still is it still day?
I don't know. I don't think it matters because you are lost. And let's just
Okay.
say the sun is going down.
Okay. Well, frightened?
Frightened.
Frightened. Or
Good.
threatened. Well, probably.
Threatened.
There are
Good.
some wild animals, probably. Yes, basically that's it. Afraid.
Okay, good. I'm going to jump in here before you go, Anatoly, and I'm going to say I would be scared and I would feel foolish. I would feel foolish because that's a way of saying I would feel stupid. Because it's like, okay, I left my campsite. I should be able to find the way back, but I'm lost. What's going on? So I would feel scared and stupid. Okay, Anatoly, how would you feel?
I could feel nervous, worried about finding the path back.
Okay, good. I mean, it wouldn't be good, but good job answering the question. Okay, Anatoly, I'm going to start with you. If your best friend just told you that he or she were getting married, how might you feel?
I I would feel
Happy.
pleased, happy for him, pleased. No, pleased. I'm looking to the chart.
Looking
Cheerful.
looking at the chart.
Looking at the chart. Cheerful.
Good. Okay, so I'm going to share my answer, and then Caesar, we're going to go to you. If my best friend just told me that she were getting married, I would be worried, and I would be upset because my best friend is already married. So that means that she's getting divorced and then getting married again. She's been married for a while. They've been together for years. So if she told me that she were getting married, I would not be happy. But that's because my best friend is already married. Now, I could say a hypothetical situation, if this were hypothetical, if my best friend were getting married, I assume, I hope, yes, I would be happy. But I took this very literally. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So when we answer these questions, we can take them literally or we can answer them hypothetically. Okay? Okay, so Caesar, first, you get literally or hypothetically?
Okay, literally.
Okay, good. If your best friend were getting married, yeah, how would you feel?
I would feel astonished.
Astonished? Is your best friend somebody that you don't think will ever get married?
I mean, isn't astonished like, like the highest way to say surprised?
Oh,
Or is it
yeah. Well,
amazed?
that is a very high way. And why would you be astonished?
Oh, because he's younger than me.
Oh. Yeah, that's not on. Go ahead. Sorry.
And well, hypothetically, well, I'd be glad. Yes, in case it's his decision. Although some people say he would be committing suicide, but I don't know why they say that. They say that, but yeah, I think I will be glad for him. I mean, if he decided to do that and he is completely sure about the person he is getting married, so go ahead.
Yeah, good. Good. Those were some fun answers. Okay. I'll go first this time since you guys went first the other times. If you had just passed away or died, how might you feel? And I know this question is really like heavy, so don't think about it too much. I don't want you guys to start crying, but we're going to practice using some words here, okay? So if my mom had just passed away, I would feel, you know what? I need to look at that chart because that chart is helpful. I wouldn't feel depressed just because I believe that she would be in a better place. I wouldn't feel agonized or hopeless. I wouldn't feel heartbroken. I think I would just feel um, lonely, knowing that my mom, wouldn't be on the same planet as me, or alive, or I wouldn't be able to talk to her anytime I wanted. I think I would feel empty for a little while, and lonely, and I would probably have some regrets. I would probably be regretful. I would probably, oh, I wish I told her I love her, or I wish I had spent more time with her. So that's how I would feel. What do you guys think? Let's start with you, Anatoly.
I would feel miserable, maybe.
Okay. Good. And Caesar, what about you?
Well, I agree with you. Perhaps I would feel alone, but as you said, right?
That
I
you
know
would just.
that. Yeah, but it will be just, I mean, not for 1 year or 2 years, because there are some people who get depressed for that. But well, in my personal case, probably I will be sad, yes, alone, probably for some weeks, couple of months. But as you said, basically, I will be in a much better place. So, because I know that everything is not finished when you die. I mean, there is more. But yes, I mean, I would be like a combination, yes, of sad and happy, of sadness and happiness, probably mixed. Yes, but eventually I would be happy again. Hello.
We can't hear you, Stephanie.
Is she still there?
Yes. It could happen if internet connection is not so good and participants are not in that moment would see what happened.
Is this the first time that this happens?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, do you have Skype so we can talk later when we are not in classes?
Yes, but I usually don't seldom use using Skype. More often I use now Google Plus Hangout. This is my Skype account.
That's your Skype?
Yes.
Okay, yes, because I think we're common web partners. Okay, she's talking, the teacher is talking.
Internet browser. There. After yes. Usually restarting Google Hangout could help.
Wow, this is awkward. Oh my god. But can she hear us?
I don't know.
I'll ask her.
Maybe not. After somebody restarts Google Hangout, the window doesn't disappear in that time, and usually we can see the second window, second sign.
So it's break time, I suppose. I need to be able to speak, otherwise you guys will understand. So let's just, why not? We have just 10 minutes left, so I suppose. Oh my god.
Chatting.
How about you?
I am going to sleep after class. Not because it's boring, and because it is a late time.
Where are you from?
I'm from Russia.
Ah, I see.
Now almost 10 p.m.
Well, I think, write Stephanie is too long. I just write teacher with Steph or something like that. Are you paying for the classes, or are you're just trying?
I'm trying, but I think I will pay after 3 months. I'm student in Verblin. If you know, they use the similar platform, Google Plus Hangout, and I received invitation to try it, and that's a bit interesting for me, because here we have small classes, very small classes. Not so many students, and sometimes in Verblin students, most of time 9 students and 1 teacher. It is very big classes, but it is also good. And have you tried before this, before Google Hangout, before Linguistiko?
I see. Where in Russia do you live? In Moscow?
Yes, I live in Moscow. And by the way, where are you from? I forgot.
I live in Lima, Peru.
Lima. Yes, I know.
Lima, Peru is the capital city, and well, actually, it's the first time I tried this kind of website where you can learn English online. And I think I saw your YouTube avatar, and I mean, this is not the only website where you are in.
Hey, I'm
Then we continue.
back.
Definitely what happened.
Congratulations.
Okay, wait. Question. You guys could hear each other the
Yes.
whole
Yes,
time?
yes. I gave you advice in the chat. You needed to restart internet browser because
I didn't even see the advice. Oh my goodness. Okay, so next time I need to restart the internet browser?
yes, because we use for Google Hangout internet browser.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have special program client for Hangout, just browser.
Okay, so next time I'll restart it, but does that mean that the broadcast is going to stop, or do I just click exit?
Just click refresh page or click on the top on address and enter address of page and enter.
Oh.
In Google Hangout, I mean. In that case, you will leave for 1 second Hangout, but after that, your account will be active.
So, Anatoly, I think you need to offer intensive internet courses for people because you help me with so many things. I'm so glad that when I work with you in class, there's like only one person or two people because you have taught me so many things. And if I had a class of 6 people, I can't just stop the class and say, "Hang on, everybody," and His Holy is going to teach me some things about the internet right now. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm new to teaching online. I'm not new to teaching, just new to teaching online. So, yeah, I'm learning some things.
Do you know how we can use YouTube application?
Yeah, I have. So we can watch videos in class? Mm-hmm.
Together in the same time, if somebody stop video, it will stop for everyone.
Yes.
It is good for mm, understanding meaning listening exercise because we can listen one sentence, for example, from the video.
Yeah.
Stop
Well,
and discuss.
I'm my classes for a couple weeks from now or a week from now, and I took your idea. I think you told me to do a lyrics class.
Yes.
So in that class, yeah, I'm gonna put some YouTube videos together of some songs, and I'm gonna try and get songs that will be new to my students, and we will analyze the lyrics and listen to the songs. So yeah, we're gonna do that.
Yes.
Anyhow, so I didn't know that about refreshing the browser. So sorry guys, but I was having a good time chatting. It was interesting. And I don't remember what we were chatting about because it all got erased. But okay, so you guys could hear each other the whole time. Were you talking while I was chatting? What's going on?
Your internet connection stopped suddenly for 1-2 seconds. It was the reason, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'll try and do better next time. Okay, so any questions that you guys have now before we exit the classroom?
No questions.
No, not really. I think that I'll need to start to check word by word in my dictionary so that I can distinguish the differences between all of them, because most of them I think are kind of synonyms, or I don't know, something like that, I suppose.
Yes. And yes, that's, yeah, I mean, a lot of them are synonyms, but then, like I said, certain words will be used in certain situations, and that, like, comes with the practice and researching it and just, asking for examples. So if you ever take another class of mine, for example, and at the end of class I say any questions, you could ask, Stephanie, remember the class, the How Are You class? I have a question about this word, and that's completely fine. So you guys know that when you have me online in a class, that you can ask questions even if they're not really related. I mean, either do it at the beginning of class or maybe at the end. But yeah, that's totally fine with me.
I see. And which dictionary do you recommend to use?
Yeah, honestly, I'm the wrong person to ask for this because I don't have a specific answer. I go dictionary.com. I don't use like the prestigious like this Webster's dictionary is the best one. I don't know, because I focus more on just talking conversational English. I studied Spanish more than I studied English, so I could actually teach probably more Spanish grammar and all of that stuff than I can even about English. So unfortunately, I don't have the experience to be able to make a good recommendation, but maybe Anatoly does because he knows a
Yes.
lot about this kind of stuff.
Yes, if you click in my screen,
Uh-huh.
I could advise to use this feature. It is possible for several browsers. In my case, Safari. I marked the word, and after that, look to this word.
Oh, so you look it up. So you click on it and then it automatically looks it
Yes,
up for you?
I click right mouse on this, or we can use it on tablet also. Just mark this word in the browser and
I think that's
click
good because it's
again.
convenient. That's good because it's
Yes,
convenient. What is it called?
it is an option which can be used from different browsers, from Chrome, Google Chrome, from Safari. I think in Mozilla also has this option. And
Okay.
the most convenient that we don't use different program. We don't need to follow next window to the dictionary because it's here. And
Yeah.
pronunciation also is very
But
important because
okay,
in
but
this,
Anatoly, what I'm asking, because we have to go now, but what I'm asking is, how do I look this up? How do I do this? It's an application. What is it called?
no. If you click on each text, just click marked one word and click left, right mouse.
Oh, oh, okay. Got it. Okay, I'm gonna try that now. But thank you guys for joining my class. Anatoly, have a good night.
Thank you.
And Caesar, maybe I'll see you later. I give another class. If not, I hope to see you soon, okay?
Okay. Do you ever prepare lessons to talk about taboo topics?
To talk about what?
Taboo topics.
Taboo topic. We can. Yeah, I take suggestions from the students. Do you want to talk about some taboo stuff?
I don't know what kind of debate or something like that. Well,
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna end the broadcast now, and Anatoly, you can have a good night if you want, and we'll see you. And if you want to stay, I can talk to you for a couple more minutes and take your suggestions and make some notes. Okay?
Mhm.
okay.
Okay.
Okay,
So
thank
I'm
you very
stopping
much.
the broadcast.
Mhm.